Friday PFT OT heading into Memorial Day weekend. Some topics to get to that we didn't address during the show or that maybe we want to address in a little more detail. And one thing we didn't have time for, Chris, the news that 3 of the top 10 defensive rookies already banged up during these OTAs. Nick Bosa's got a hamstring problem. He was the second overall pick in the draft by the San Francisco 49ers. Quinnen Williams, calf issue with the New York Jets. You've got Josh Allen, the 6th overall pick, Jaguars defensive lineman. He's also a little bit banged up now. We struggle with this all the time. I mean, these are guys who have spent the last 4 months, for the most part, getting ready for the draft, getting ready for the scouting combine, getting ready for pro day workouts, and they kind of get thrust into this process that has had 2 prior phases, right? It's phase 3 when you get to the OTAs. You work your way to the point where you're ready for the OTAs. These rookies haven't had that, and they get thrown right into the fire. And I think these injuries should be a reminder to some coaches that maybe you want to be a little more careful with your new players.
Yeah, no, I think that's a little bit of a problem all around the NFL is these coaches who are just bored with their offseason. It's just, I don't know what to do, so let's get out there and practice. Okay. How about just train, get stronger? I mean, again, science has proven that ligaments and muscles only get stronger after 6 weeks of consistent, hard training, and you have to continue to do that. Now, you mentioned, of course, with the rookies, too. Yeah, the rookies, they were in shape all offseason, but they're not in shape right now. They finally had a few weeks off, right? Because they get done with their last pro day, and now they can literally wait for the draft to come about. They might have a few workouts sprinkled in the air before, but here or there. But either way, it's really the first opportunity, really, the 2 to 3 weeks leading up to the draft, where the player can sit back and go, oh, okay, I can finally let my body rest for the first time since last offseason a little bit. And then they get drafted, and then it's, first week rookie minicamp or second week rookie minicamp. And, yeah, they need to get back into shape, get working out before we throw them out there to go, oh, let's see them come off the edge at 100 miles per hour and see if they can do something that we know that they already can do, because this is why we drafted the damn guy. So, yeah, I think teams are too quick to go out to practice, in my opinion.
And that hamstring thing, that is a scary injury because you have to go against your very nature to heal that. You've got to shut it down for an extended period of time and let it fully heal. And I don't know that Nick Bosa is wired that way. He's going to be fired up. He's going to want to prove himself. He's going to try to push his way back. And, this has been the knock on Nick Bosa, in part because Joey Bosa has been banged up in his career. Can this guy stay healthy? Look, the hamstring strain can happen to anyone, but this isn't a good sign that in the first week of OTAs in his NFL career, Nick Bosa has an injury that's going to knock him out for several weeks.
No, it doesn't. I mean, he's a kid that's had a torn ACL in high school. Yeah, he has the groin surgery and all of that this last offseason. Yes, I mean, the hamstring is connected to the groin, so that does concern me. Is he wound too tight? That's going to be the big question with Nick Bosa. He is a muscular, tight-looking guy. Other thing I'll throw out there to Mike, to you, and I know you've heard me say this before too, I do think OTAs, again, teams should make it a little bit more about individual drills. I think these injuries are going to happen when you get into the competitive part. Oh, it's a defensive end versus offensive tackle. He can't gauge himself. If he was going without the competition, let me just put it out there, if you felt a little tightness in your hamstring, you would slow up and stop. But when you're in a competition, I got to beat this guy mode, sometimes you go past that point and then all of a sudden, oh, I popped, it tore, whatever it may be. So that's the other thing I would say, and I know there's a few teams, and I'm not going to put them on blast out there, that's how they do approach OTAs. It's more about individual work, and let's limit the amount of bodies next to each other so we can limit the injury process too.
And you've got undrafted rookies trying to make the roster. You've got other guys who this is their last chance to get someone's attention. You've got guys who are trying to earn a contract, guys trying to climb the depth chart. You got a lot of pressure there. And it is an inherently competitive environment. So it's on the coach to find ways to channel that energy in the right direction and keep the players safe. Contact 10 years ago was a huge problem with these offseason workouts because you've got guys out there without pads on going full speed.
Right.
And that's what they do. They're football players. They always say if there's an issue about the quality of the playing surface for a game, we'd play on cement. Yes, they would. And they'd play without pads, and they'll do whatever you let them do.
Yeah.
And that's why it's incumbent on the coaches to figure out the best way to get your guys ready without jeopardizing your players. So I think we agree on that.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.